対戦を確認。
慶岡弘信の人英作問題成功のやつやります。These days, many young people do not offer their seats to use the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on the transportation. On public transportation. 違ってたのわかんないな。These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on transportation. On public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. どうしよう。こんくらい覚えたらすぐか。These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, キルするまで大丈夫か。These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not... デスマの方をちゃんと集中しないといけないんだよ。These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. These days, many young people do not offer their seats to the elderly on public transportation. そろそろ次か。Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones. Many people have various apps on their phones. On their phones. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. People have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. してやったよ。 people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. デコにふりしてるこいつ。おっと。
残り10キル。
配線悪い。Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to. 30 few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them.
残り5キル。
Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. Many people回線が悪すぎる。
残り1キル。
Many people have various apps on their phones, but few know the right way to use them. 回線えぐいな。どうしよう。じゃあ次行こう。The number of people who do not believe in religion is rapidly increasing. The number of people
対戦を
who
確認。
believe in religions who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who believe. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing.
アドバイス撃たれ
The
るな。
number of people who do not believe in religions
はい
is rapidly
思い知ら
increasing.
せてやる。リンティッカよ。
The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly
く
increasing.
たばれ。
The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. Religions? Religion. The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing. The number of people who do not believe in religion is rapidly increasing.
Bye-bye.
The number of people who do not believe in religion is rapidly increasing. 死んだら次か。The number of people who do not believe in religion is rapidly increasing.
引っ込んでな。
The number of people who do not believe in religions is rapidly increasing.
3人目。
Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. ラグいって。Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. もうラグすぎ。Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon. Many people wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon.
残り5キル。
People wonder why there is such a strange phenomenon.
倒した。
その次か。Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south of Tokyo. Sydney 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 is almost 8,000 kilometers south from Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south of Tokyo.
残り1キル
Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south of Tokyo. South of Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south of Tokyo. 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 Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south from 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 Tokyo.
ド派手なパーティーの始まり
Sydney
だ
is almost 8,000 kilometers south from
フ
Tokyo.
ァイト
手加減すん
Sydney
なよ
is almost 8,000 kilometers
リフ
south
トウォーカー
from
排除
Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers from Tokyo. Of Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south 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 from Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south from Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south from Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000
Dominating.
kilometers south of Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south of Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south of Tokyo.
ドミネーティング
Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south of Tokyo. Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south
ド
of
リムス
Tokyo.
トーン撃破
Sydney is almost 8,000 kilometers south of Tokyo. 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 次行くか。Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only 5-minute walk from my home.
ブリムストーン撃破
Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home.
残り10キル
Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home.
レイナを倒した。
Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home.
ターゲットダウン。
Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home.
残り1キル。
Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. Lake Biwa is only a 5-minute walk from my home. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it.
対戦を確認。
When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. You have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. You have to do without it. You have to do without it.
心配ないって伝えたっけ？大丈夫。
When
いい
you
一日になる。
cannot afford to buy the thing
さあ
you
行く
want,
よ。
you have to do without it.
あの世でまたね。
When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it.
おやすみ。トリプル悪いね。
When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. You cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it.
いい感じ。
You cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it.
排除完了。
When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. You cannot afford to buy the thing you want. cannot afford to buy the thing you want. You have to do without it. You cannot afford to buy the thing you want. You have to do without it. You have to do when you cannot afford to buy the thing you want. You have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to do the thing you want, you have to do without it.
トリプル悪いね。
When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. You cannot afford to buy this. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. You cannot afford to. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. You cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it.
決まった。
When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it.
余裕余裕。
When you can do not when you are not when you cannot afford to buy when you cannot afford to buy thing you want,
ナイス。
you can do without
残
it.
り10キル
You have to do without it. クソ適当になってる。You have to do without it.
これは罰だよ。
When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it.
めーこパピ
When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. When you cannot afford to buy the thing you want, you have to do without it. いいか。These play an important role in keeping us healthy. These play an important role. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. Keeping us healthy. In keeping us healthy. In keeping us healthy.
バイバイお化けくん。
Keeping us
残り5キル
These play an important role. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. Keeping us healthy. Keeping us healthy. These play an important role in keeping us from healthy. These play an important role. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. Keeping us healthy. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. These keep an important. These play an important role. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. These play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy.
対戦を
Teas
確
play
認
an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy.
敵の死から
Teas
学ぶ
play
んだ
an important role in keeping us healthy.
ファイト
Teas play an important
行っ
role
てみ
in
ようか。
keeping us healthy.
カーデブル
Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy.
キル
Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. Teas play an important role in keeping us healthy. 長っ Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry right before the new school term starts. 長い
一人排除
Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins. Some students finish their homework. Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins. Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins. Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry. Right before the new school term starts. Right before the new school term starts. Right before the new school term starts. Right before. Right before the new school term starts. Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry right before the new school term starts. Right before the new school term starts. 自分で言って合ってんのかわかんねえな。Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry right before the new school term starts. Starts. Right before the new school. Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry right before the summer vacation begins. 違う。Right before the new school term
残り
starts.
10キル。
Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, but while others complete it in a hurry right before the new school term starts. Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry right before the new school term starts.
残り
Some
5キル。
students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others
1人やった。
complete it in a hurry right before the new school term starts. Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry right before the
タ
summer
ーゲッ
vacation.
トダウン。
Right before the new school term starts. Right before the new school term starts. As soon as the summer vacation
残り
begins,
1キル。
while others complete it in a hurry before the
もう一度。
complete it in a
興奮が冷めないうち
hurry
に。
right before the new school term starts. Some students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry right before the new school term starts. Some students
対戦を確
Some
認。
students finish their homework as soon as the summer vacation begins, while others complete it in a hurry right before the new school term starts. In that country, 1 out of 3 children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, 1 out of 3 children. In that country, 1 out of 3 children. 1 out of 3 children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, 1 out of 3 children. 1 out of 3 children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, 1 out of 3 children cannot graduate elementary school because their families are poor. Because their families are poor. In that country, 1 out of 3 children cannot graduate from
引き金を引く間
elementary
も与え
school.
るな。
Graduate from elementary school
Fight!
because their
平常
families are
心で
poor.
な。
In that country, 1 out of 3 children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are
ある
poor.
だ
In that country,
空に
one
帰
out
れ
of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor.
甘いぞ
In that country,
ドミネーティング
in that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor.
やったぞ
In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from the elementary school. Cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. In that country, one out of three children cannot graduate from elementary school because their families are poor. We tend to forget that about 3/4 of the surface of the earth is covered with water. We tend to forget about 3/4 of the surface of the earth is covered with water. We tend to forget that about 3/4 of the surface of the earth is covered with seawater. We tend to forget that about 3/4 of the surface. 3/4 of the surface of the earth is covered with water. We tend to forget that about 3/4 of the surface of the earth is covered with seawater.
残り10キル
ついてないな
We tend to forget that about 3/4 of the surface of the earth is covered with seawater. Covered with water.
残り5キル
排除した。3人目。
We can calculate that about 3/4 of the surface of the Earth is covered with water. We tend to forget that about 3/4 of the surface of the Earth is covered with water. We tend to forget that about 3/4 of the surface of the Earth is covered with water.
対戦を確認。
Water. We tend to forget that about 3/4 of the surface of the Earth is covered with water. There are dozens of fishing boats. Dozens of There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. In that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats.
みんな
There were
準備
dozens
はい
of
い
fishing
冷
boats
静に行くよ
in that beautiful
Fight!
harbor.
大丈夫私たちは強い
There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor.
半人前だね
In that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor.
これは罰だよ
There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor.
じゃあねナイフガール
There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. 感度倍にしたらスミスの感度でいくか 0.7 倍にしとこう There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. There were dozens of fishing boats in that beautiful harbor. 次に行くか。I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. I have known Taro since he was a child. So, it has been 20 years since I first met
残り
you.
10キル
It has been 20 years since I first met you, but you have not changed much. But you have not changed much. It has been 20 years since I first met you, but you have not changed much. But you have not changed much. But you have not changed much.
余裕余裕
It has been 20 years since I first met you. It has been 20 years since I first met you, but you have not changed much. But you have not changed much.
残り5キル
But you have not changed much.
残念でした
It has been 20 years since I first met you, but you have not changed much. But you have not changed much. It has been 20 years. It has been 20 years since I first met you,
じゃあね
but
ナイフがあ
you
る
have not changed much.
残り1キル
It has been 20 years since I first met you. I first met you, but you have not changed much. It has been 20 years since I first met you, but you have not changed much. It has been 20 years has been 20 years since I first met you, but
対戦
you
を
have
確認
not changed much. It has been 20 years since I first met you, but you have not changed much. It has been 20 years since I first met you, but you have not changed much. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido. I have never been to Hokkaido. So I would like to go this summer. So I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer.
ファイト
引き裂いてやる。
I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. I have never been to Hokkaido, so I would like to go this summer. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. That I have ever caught. I have ever caught. That I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. I have ever caught. I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. This is the biggest fish that I have ever caught. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen. Commodity prices have risen. Commodity prices have risen by 5%. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by
最初にどう動くかでその人の本質がわかる。
はい
私を見てて。大丈夫。私たちは強い。
Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 10 years. Commodity prices have risen by 5% over the last 2 years. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times. We moved several times. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child,
化
we
け物を倒し
moved
た
several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job.
排除完了
When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we have moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job.
残り9
ナイス
When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job.
決まった
When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I was a child, we moved several times because of my father's job. When I got to the station this morning, 7 o'clock train. I usually take the 7 train I usually take had already left. The 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. Had already left. When I got to the station. When I got to the station this morning. When I got to the station this morning. When I got to the station this morning. The train. The 7 o'clock train.
余裕余裕。
The 7 o'clock train. I usually take. 7
残り5キロ
o'clock train I usually take. Had already left. Had already left. When I got to the station this morning. When I got to the station this morning. The 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. Had already left.
残り1キロ
When I got to the station this morning, 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I got to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I got to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left.
.対戦を確認
To the station. When I got to the station this morning. When I got to the station this morning. When I got to the station this morning. The 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left.
That's きれねえ。早くやろうぜ。
ファイト
任せとけ。見張りを排除。
When I got to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I got to the station, 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I got to the station this morning. When I got to the station this morning. 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I got to the station this morning. The 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left.
プルだ。クアドラ。
When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the
エ
station
ンジ
this
ンや排
morning,
除。悪いな。
when I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left.
うるせえな。
When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left.
仕留めたぜ。
When I go to the station this morning, when I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left.
ブリムストーン撃破。
When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already
エン
left.
ジンや排除。
When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already
エンジンや排除。
had already left. Had already left. When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already
ター
left.
ゲットダウン。
When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left.
トリプ
When I
ルだ
go。to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the station, the 7 o'clock train I usually take
倒した
had。already left.
残り5キロ。
7 o'clock train. When I go to the stations this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually
Dominating.
take had already left.
あばよ。残念で。
When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left.
残り1キロ。
じゃあな。
When I go to the station this morning, the 7 o'clock train I usually take had already left. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day.
対戦を
Postpone
確
the
認
class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until next day. Until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. Teacher suggested that The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day.
確かに敵は勇敢。でも恐怖には勝てない。ファイト。さてどこにいる？バイバイ。
The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that until the teacher suggested that until the teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that the teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day.
ドミネーティン
The
グ。
teacher suggested that
いいゲージ
we
だ。
postpone the class meeting until the
これ
next
で
day.
3人。4人目。
The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day. The teacher suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day.
バイパーダウン。これで3人。4人目。ドミネーティング。
He just suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day.
バイパーダウン。
敵がいない。He just suggested that we postpone the class meeting until the next day.
残り10キル。
If it rains on that day, the dance competition will be held in the gym.
Dominating.
If it rains on that day, the dance competition
残り5キル。
The dance competition will be held in the gym. If it rains on that day,
Dominating.残り1キル。
フルバナ